Good morning, everyone. Do you have your coffee so that you can join us for today's live stream? We sure hope you do. Welcome so much, you guys, to our special live stream in honor of International Women's Day. So not just national, people, but international. And today I thought it would be so fun to have a guest with me. I'm also going to have to show you the special coffee cup, you guys. If you are joining us live, because with live streams, you can never find a perfect time for everybody. But my amazing social media director, who's going to be joining us soon, she's in our virtual studio as I speak. She and I are going to have so much fun with you guys. She is here today to give her perspective. And so we, again, are just so glad you're here. If you can't join us live, that's fine too, because this video is going to live on our YouTube channel and also on Facebook. So again, I'm so excited to get started. Let me go ahead and introduce to you the wonderful social media director who is joining us now right here on our special live stream. You guys, please welcome. Now you're going to hear a little background noise perhaps, so we may have to mute her now and then, but she's at Starbucks. And you guys, this is the beautiful Victoria Keller, who I was saying in the intro is my social media director for Dr. Dawn Shop Talk. And I could not think of a better person to join me for International Women's Day. Victoria, say hi to everyone.
Good morning.
I'm
here writing with my coffee as well.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, you guys, she's got her coffee at Starbucks. You guys know, okay, that if you're at Starbucks right now, that's kind of like the place to be. Now, I pretty much support every coffee shop in the state of Arkansas. Yes, we're broadcasting from Arkansas. If you're joining us from out of state, she's got her special Starbucks. Now, what did you get today? And did they give you a discount for International Women's Day?
No particular discount this morning, but I just have my good caramel macchiato.
Oh, you guys, that does sound a little bit better than what I just made, kind of a plain coffee, but it is a Starbucks coffee. It's their dark roast. And of course, I put a little Splenda, a little French vanilla. I usually don't even do cream in the morning, but today is special. Now, I started to show the audience, Victoria, in the intro, my very special coffee cup. Okay, guys, I'm going to kind of put it a little closer to the screen. If you can't see that, it says, "She believed she could, so she did." Victoria, can you think of a better coffee cup for today?
I love that. I think that's fantastic.
Right? Isn't that great?
Very apropos.
Exactly. Okay, you guys, those of you joining us live, be sure to comment because I can see you, but I would love to give you a live audience shout out. So if you are joining us live, be sure to let us know in the comments. Oh, we just got a thumbs up. We just got a shout out from Kay. Oh my gosh, Kay, I just love you. She says, love Dr. Hamby. Girl, I love you too. Thank you so much for getting up early. We thought it would just be so fun for us girls to get together. Okay, now I'm going to feel bad if we do have some gentlemen joining us because we've got some support from the guys out there too, which we love. But in any case, you guys definitely let us know. Here is Kay's shout out. We just love you, Kay. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, what we thought we would do is we are actually going to share some kind of fun facts. Now, Kay knows this. I am so pro woman, so pro anything we can do to help women feel empowered. So I thought it would be fun to start with just some information you guys could share as you go about your workday. So did you know, because I didn't know this, I'm a former history teacher, you guys, so if there's interesting facts, I want to share it. International Women's Day actually originated in the early 1900s. It came from the labor movements in North America and Europe, and it was actually formally recognized by the UN in 1975. Victoria, what do you think about that?
I think that's incredible. The amazing part to me is, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback. The amazing part to me is that they just made this an international thing. Like, it's not just so specific to one particular region or country or whatever. I mean, there are women everywhere that are successful and powerful and everything. And so we want to support them wherever they are and whatever they're doing.
I love that so much. And here we are Victoria and I from completely different generations. You don't have to share your age, Victoria. I always say I'm 57, I'm proud. Whoop, whoop. So I'm a different generation, but you could at least tell us, what generation are you?
I am a millennial,
Millennial. Okay.
but I'm on the tail end of that millennial. So
Millennials get a bad rap, you guys, and they shouldn't. Okay. Victoria is a prime example of a professional woman who's a very hard worker. And sometimes people forget millennials can be hard workers. They give you guys a little bit of a hard time, I have to say. But here's two different generations right here, who didn't even know it went back that far. I certainly didn't know it was recognized by the UN. Now, you guys, in the United States, I want to share this. Another thing that's kind of apropos about International Women's Day being today is that this, of course, is in combination with celebrating Women's History Month, which is the month of March. That actually started in the United States in 1981, and it expanded into a 1 week celebration in 1987. Now we've just taken over the whole month, which I just absolutely love. And remember, it's all about recognizing women's achievements and how far we've come. So I want to share how far we have come with the audience. Just a couple of key things to think about as you go to work today. Celebrate the fact that you are, as a woman, able to apply for any job you're really interested in. You guys, there were positions women never could apply for. I mean, it was understood. You could not become a lawyer, a doctor. You could not go into certain trades fields even. And as someone who has worked in career tech education for many, many years, as someone who actually does presentations about non-traditional careers, which definitely includes women in those male-dominated fields, that has just a special place in my heart, because when I think about the fact that women were denied certain opportunities or even the chance to try a certain profession, and when you look at certain professions that pay really well, ladies, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice not to look at those trades fields, because they actually usually come with a higher paycheck, and there are certain areas where women do better than the guys. For example, do you ladies know that in automotive alone, just looking at that field, when I was supervising these awesome programs, automotive was one of those. We had auto maintenance tech and auto collision repair. And the teachers that I had the privilege to supervise, they told me that they preferred the women because their eye-hand coordination was better. And by and large, the ladies had smaller hands and they could kind of get into those places where some of the guys could not. Now, that doesn't mean every lady has a tiny hand. I mean, I'm not trying to be too general here, but that was from many years of teaching. And that's something, a gender difference that some of my male teachers recognize, that there were areas where women actually could do better. Same with welding. So those were comments that I actually got from my teachers that felt like the ladies did a little better, right? And many times as women, we just don't even consider those jobs. Victoria, what do you think about that? Because I know you come from a family who really appreciates the trades.
I do, and I will also add this. I was doing some research one day, and there was kind of a juxtaposition between male applicants for the field and female applicants for the field.
Yeah.
And they were discussing how women was like not apply for something if they thought that they were quote unquote unqualified. They did not meet 100% of those bullet pointed things that the application required was seeking. Then they would not even bother to apply. Whereas a male, for whatever reason, is far more likely to apply, even if they don't meet 100% of those bullet point items. And I think that's goes to show your point. We have to believe in ourselves in order to, just go for that and try things. And you know what? There are some things I can learn on the job or other path. And I'm just capable as somebody who may have some additional experience, but I'm really great at this. So I think, being a proponent of our own selves, our learning skills, and our own education, I think that's very, very, very important.
I couldn't agree more, Victoria. And I think that, I mentioned certain fields, that's kind of to your point, that women couldn't even consider. For example, if you look at the aviation industry, I think that's a great one. In fact, Nancy, if you're watching, Nancy is a dear friend of mine. She was a flight attendant for many, many years. She wasn't really given the option to ever even consider being a pilot. And by the way, Nancy had shared some really awesome stories with me in terms of like the difference between flight attendants today and when she was a flight attendant. In fact, back then they would call them a stewardess. And there were such strict guidelines that they could never get away with today. I want to share some of those with you. Do you guys know that particularly up till the 1960s, flight attendants were reserved only for women? There were limits to their age. You could not be married. You had to physically look a certain way. They not only inspected your uniform, there was a time in the flight attendants industry where they had to get on the scale and weigh in. When women look back and go, have we made many strides? Of course, there's a long way to go, you guys. There definitely is. But when you consider the fact that not many years ago, it's not like it was hundreds of years ago, you had to weigh in before you could go to work. They did that each and every week. And listen, she fell in love with a pilot. They didn't meet in the aviation industry, though. He became a pilot. They met in childhood, and it was years later that they reconnected. So she's a flight attendant. He's a pilot. Guess what happened? When they got engaged, she had to leave. He could stay. She had to leave. And later, they started to accept women that were married in that industry. But if you got pregnant, that was another thing that completely disqualified you. So when you look at that alone, can you imagine? It's so shocking now, but it was a reality. What do you think about that, Victoria? Seriously, unless you're a swimsuit model, and even then I don't think you're allowed to ask or get on the scale, because swimsuits come in all sizes and there's all body types, and we should celebrate that and not put ourselves down for not looking a certain way. But can you believe they could get away with that?
That is correct. And I will add this. I know that Disney World also kind of does something very similar, because they have to be a certain height, certain weight, and it's to be safe concerns and that it's kind of something that we get back from.
Yeah,
It's not kosher anymore. Look at that. Think about it.
Well, a safety concern, I can understand that. For example, some of you have heard me brag about my daughter on our YouTube channel, our podcast. In fact, I've even interviewed her for some of our YouTube videos. And there's one that we did about women and about just women's rights and male-dominated fields. And this is when my daughter was stationed in Japan, my daughter Savannah. And she is definitely in a male-dominated field, serving in the military, in the Air Force. But even within that, she happened to choose loading bombs on the F-35 fighter jet. That's basically what she does for her profession. And
Totally amazing.
Isn't that amazing? I was at this wonderful organization. If any of you ladies are watching from Charlotte, John, we love you. And I was telling them, I said, I put a picture of Savannah up there. Victoria, you've seen me do that before. And I'm like, you guys, this is living proof I gave birth to a badass. Woo-hoo-hoo. And there she is in her uniform on the wing of a jet. It looks like something out of a magazine cover. It should be the magazine cover for Air Force recruitment. So if the Air Force is listening, you guys, I've got a picture for you. This will attract women into the military, I promise you, because she just looks so great. But here she is, like right around 5 feet tall. She had to prove she could lift at least 50 pounds in order to, be able to do the job. But then the rest of it, through robotics, through the equipment she uses, through the things that she would drive around the flight line, then that helps. So, those barriers to entry for jobs really don't exist in many cases now, You do have to physically be fit, but that's true of other jobs too. I'm thinking about a traditionally female dominated space is the world of cosmetology, right? When you go into a salon and get your hair done. Do you know that in order to be licensed in cosmetology, for your practicum, you're going to kind of have to be able to show that you can stand on your feet for long periods of time. But if you're, let's say, a nail tech, then not so much because you're going to be sitting down most of the time. So all of these barriers to improve in the workforce have really gone away with being a little bit more creative and a little bit more sensitive to people's needs. You know, it's part of that inclusivity and just being equitable. Don't you agree, Victoria?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's important to know that such a subject, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Savannah, journey through the Air Force, and what she's doing. I mean, she is a strong role. Her girls and women everywhere. She is powerful, and she's like I can't even fathom. And more power to her. I'm like, let's go. So, it's really empowering to see that, it may not be something I'm particularly gifted in, but boy, I'm so excited for them and their journey and where they're coming from. And I think as women too, something to consider just kind of that community, and encouraging one another and being happy for one another, rather than making everything a competition. And I think we're leaning more that direction every single day. But be positive and encouraging one another. This month of International Women's Day, if you have, or us, because it's International, I know it's International Women's Day, and we have the Women's Month, correct? Is that how that works? Anyway, make sure you send somebody an encouraging text. Just kind of build that relationship. This relationship is really important. Women really thrive in community and other.
Absolutely. And I think today is the perfect day to do that. In fact, I'm thinking about a delightful friend of ours that's coming into town today. I haven't seen her in years. She doesn't know this, but I have a group of ladies that are getting together today just, to have a little after work get together. And we're stopping by. Now, we've got dinner plans at 7, but these wonderful women are getting together. And I don't think we actually planned this necessarily in honor of International Women's Day. But believe me, when I get to the restaurant and we have our margarita or our glass of wine, because these gals are like me, we want to celebrate. And oftentimes we're going to celebrate with maybe a glass of wine, a glass of champagne, a cup of coffee, whatever your jam is. It's about relaxing after work, getting together. So reach out to your women friends today. If you have not made plans, and if you have the ability to make plans today to get together for lunch today. Just celebrate the fact that you have such unlimited potential today, that the wonderful ladies who preceded us did not have those opportunities. They really didn't. I wanted to share some fun facts with you guys about some professions that we now kind of think of as male that started off as female professions. And you guys, there's some great YouTube videos about this if you wanted to check that out. I got to bring up this first one. Victoria knows that my husband's a drummer. He doesn't do that full time. It's always been his passion, so he kind of does that part time. But he's played in bands for years. And did you know, I'm going to put my readers back on so I can read this. Did you know that women were the ancient history's first drummers and dominated that space for over 3,000 years? It actually dates back to like the ancient Egyptians and beforehand. But can you believe it? I mean, it kind of does not surprise me. Now, here's another one. This one might surprise you, Victoria. If you've ever seen the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, right? Famous Marilyn Monroe movie. It was written by a female screenwriter. She was paid. Now this, I had another reason I'm wearing these readers. I had to triple check this number, and I discussed this recently at a workshop, and the ladies had the same reaction I did. This gal was being paid $34,000, not a month, and that by itself would be amazing, but a week. $34,000 a week, and that was back then. That would be absolutely incredible.
I have no idea.
Can you believe it? Can you believe? Okay, now listen to what happened. That's a Hollywood screenwriter. Hollywood screenwriting for years now have been dominated by the men. So how did it change? Why did it change? Why would they be willing to pay this woman this incredible amount of money? Well, that was the industry standard, so she got that. It changed when Hollywood salaries became publicly known. Can you believe that? I'm gonna listen. The folks that are watching, we want your support. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna kind of put a reminder up there. Feel free to give us comments. We had a lovely comment from our girl Kay earlier. Oftentimes, when they're listening to us, Victoria, doing a live stream, they're getting ready. They're joining us. They're getting ready for work because they got to get out that door. It's 7:22. I wouldn't be surprised if they need to leave in the next couple of minutes. So we'll be wrapping up. But Victoria, can you believe that? I mean, so the ladies that are watching, I don't want to get you riled up in a negative way, okay? Don't get to work and see the first guy at work and bite his head off. We don't want that, but we just want to recognize that there were ways where if it involved, again, knowing the salary and how upset that would make the men, because back then it was really legal to not promote women because men were expected to be, right, the family provider. And so employers that were mostly men would consider that. But networking, in fact, have you ever seen those movies, Victoria, where they talk about the computer girls? Okay, so computer programming was, again, something that women did all the time. In fact, there were few men in that field. The pay was high. But the reason that started to change is because of networking groups. Today, in fact, I'm part of several networking groups. I'm a huge believer in the Chamber. I'm a huge believer in BNI, which is Business Networking International. It's a game changer. If you're a business owner like me, you need to check that out. But the problem was people were so concerned back then. There was so much pressure and societal rules about men and women socializing. And if you were single, Victoria, oh no, you can't be out there on the golf course with the guys. Oh no, you can't have lunch with a business colleague of yours. I find like even today, do you think, Victoria, in 2024, it does seem today that it's gotten a lot better, but I could see where sometimes women are a little hesitant to attend certain events, maybe if it's late at night and, not that you have to play golf, that's kind of been the traditional standard. There's tennis, there's pickleball, there's all kinds of ways to perhaps combine sports with networking, but I think that's been the tradition. And kind of doing the research, it seems like women felt like they couldn't be part of those groups. And then there were male groups where, of course, men only, right? Those private groups, those kind of business groups where women were not allowed to be a part of it. So if deals are happening in those male groups that women weren't invited to, male clubs and things like that, then, what are you going to do? Right, Victoria?
Absolutely. And coming from a woman who, I played golf in college and, I enjoy the game. I actually have started picking up pickleball, which is really fun and things like that. I think that's a lot more common nowadays. However, that being said, there is some kind of element of like a huge power down, and a lot of times men will be pretty encouraging and fun loving,
Yes.
And they're excited to be there and doing whatever, whomever. But that being said, there is still that part of it saying, okay, well, maybe she's a little, she's too good at
yeah, she's too good.
Maybe this is not exactly what they were planning when they planned this event or whatever the case may be. So it's just important to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of women in various fields and highlight specific role models that inspire like those next generations. And through that, we can get better mentoring and networking, right?
Yes.
Because we want to pinpoint, okay, this person is doing a really great job. We want to say, how can I learn, right? It doesn't matter what gender, whatever. Just, I think most of the time, people can recognize both women and men that are successful in the field and say, okay, I want to be better.
Right.
And I get mentorship with that person to obtain that. not necessarily a game, but just in terms of working and my mental game, right? Because that's a big thing you talked about is mindset. And so
Mindset, that's right.
that's right. And so mindset constantly and doing that through those relationships, connections, mentoring, and
Yeah.
networking. I think that's really important.
I agree. I agree. Oh, speaking of networking, one of my fellow members of Business Business Networking International. Now I'm getting it all mixed up since it's International Women's Day, but BNI has joined us and given us a shout out. So let me say right back to Lisa. That's right. She's wishing us, Victoria, a happy International Women's Day.
You
Lisa,
too,
I
Lisa.
hope you celebrate today as well, right? So thank you for the shout out. That's right, you guys. We love it when you can join us live. And if you can't, we're hoping that you can catch this in the replay. So yes, we're just so excited that you guys are here and that you're able to join us live. So do be sure to let us know that you're watching because we want to give you that live on air shout out. Now, if you get a little embarrassed that I celebrate the fact that you are joining us live, then you can let me know. I'm just saying hello, Dr. John. Just don't put me up on the screen. But I can't help it. I just love celebrating you guys joining us. So if you do catch this in the replay, be sure to send this to anybody else that you think would love it because we want to come together as a community and lift each other up. And when Victoria was talking about, again, the importance of networking, that's going to be, as we wrap up today, I want to give you guys some tips moving forward of how you can make sure that you're supporting each other. You know, one of my favorite quotes when it comes to women empowerment, and I'm going to just paraphrase here, is I'm a strong woman because a strong woman raised me, right? The idea that having female role models is so important. And I'm really thinking about that with my mom. Some of you know my mom passed away recently in January. And we're actually putting together a celebration of life for her this weekend on Sunday. And it's bittersweet, of course. I love that we're approaching it this way because she did not want a traditional funeral. And she is a woman that I will always admire. You talk about strength and determination and opinion. She had it all. And so I just feel so blessed having been her daughter. And when I think about, you know, for the ladies out there who maybe were not as fortunate as me to have a really strong female role model, Victoria, I know we could go on and on about your mom and what a force of nature she is. And you're blessed like me to have had a wonderful female role model. You guys, not everybody's as lucky as Victoria and I. So really think about this moving forward. Reach out to your women friends. Think about mentoring another woman. I mean, that's another reason I'm so excited Victoria is working with me in this company. She was my first hire, and I was just honored to welcome her into our business family. And of course, now I love her whole family, so they're going to be part of our family forever. But I also considered the fact that I could grow this company with another woman, and not that I wouldn't hire a guy. So if you're watching, I promise you, I'm not discriminating in the other way, okay? But I think there is something special about celebrating our achievements and women helping women. I think is such a beautiful thing. And did you know that one of the ways women are holding themselves back is by not being more visible in networking groups? With networking, networking increases your visibility, which then increases your credibility, which then increases, yes, you got it, your profitability. So, ladies, really think about that. If you're listening to us while you're getting ready to hit the office or get in that car or just start your day, just really think about that because even if you're not working full time, what if you've got the privilege of being a business owner and you work for yourself? Well, the networking is definitely important. What if you're retired? You still want to network because there's probably charities and organizations that you feel passionate about. You want to give back. Or maybe you've got a wonderful daughter like Victoria or nieces and you want to support them and let people know what they're doing. So moving forward, you guys, and speaking of, here we go, Victoria, your mom is joining us live. Hi, Pam. She's saying we're doing a great job. She is just always our biggest fan. Love her, love her. Y'all, she's one of those retirees. She didn't even have to get up this early, and she is up and she is starting her day. Love you, Pam. Thank you so much
Well,
for
and on
joining.
there's a quote that says, "If I see birds, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants."
Yes,
And
you stood on the shoulders of giants. I love that, Victoria.
it's
Yes.
just going back to what you said, just creating that sense of community and that one-on-one relationship, that involvement, that networking, that mentorship is so imperative to how we can see how we can, our day-to-day lives, our like mental well-being, our mindset, our work ethic, etc. And
Yeah.
so, like you said, we have blessed both of us to have right minds, and those are the shoulders that we've certainly stood on many times.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we're so lucky, both of us. So thank you again, Pam. We just appreciate that so, so much. All right, you guys, as we wrap up, to just kind of reiterate what Victoria said, really think about supporting each other today. These are some tips on, how you can go about doing that. So moving forward, here's just some like International Women's Day hacks, for lack of a better word. Okay. Number one, really think about empowering yourself through education. So, like what you're doing right now, whether you're reaching out to some YouTube content, whether you're attending a class or a workshop, really think about expanding your vision and your idea about what you can accomplish through education. Number two, be sure to advocate for equality. If you continue to see any injustice out there, make sure you're speaking up. That's just so important to come together and recognize that. Number three, celebrate your achievements. We want you to think back on how far you've come, how far women have come in general, and really celebrate that. Number four, we mentioned this a lot today, mentorship and networking, so important. Number five, help challenge those stereotypes. When I was talking about my daughter in the Air Force, just by her working there, she's challenging that every day. But you don't have to do that. You could challenge stereotypes in lots of little ways. So really think about that. Number six, support women-owned businesses. I love that, you guys. I'm a registered, recognized woman-owned business for the state of Arkansas, and we need to support each other. Number seven, this is a big one, ladies. Promote work-life balance, right, Victoria? That is a work in progress. I mean, listen, because if you love what you do, like Victoria and I do, you could become a workaholic real easy. Ladies, we don't want you to do that. Now, I love this one. Number eight, engage the men. So, in other words, let's remember that in order to move forward, we have to be inclusive. So we need to make sure that the men are part of the conversation. I've been bragging about Victoria's mom, her dad. Let me tell you what, he loves women. He supports women. He loves smart women, powerful women. He understands that holding women back is just a travesty, really is. And so it takes special men to recognize, even in 2024, that it doesn't make you less than to bring somebody else up, right? So involving men in the conversation, because they can help promote the fact that women can become plumbers, electricians, let's say, that they can be in the military, that they can do jobs that maybe are not traditional. So having the support of the men, I say this all the time. I even say this in my book, but we know we can do it without you, but man, life is sweeter when we have your support, men. So thank you so much. Number nine, community involvement. Definitely. So important to reach out to communities you believe in. In fact, I've been going through my mom's clothing. I've been revamping my own closet, and I'm going to be donating some of the beautiful professional clothing I have to organizations that help women who are really down on their luck and need to feel confident in that interview. So ladies, that's a way that you could get involved in the community. When you're cleaning out your closet, getting ready for spring cleaning, really think about donating anything that you've got to women organizations, women who may be not as fortunate, as we are. And last but not least, Victoria, you're not going to be surprised. I'm going to end with this. Number 10, personal growth and self-care. You know what? I say it all the time. Victoria knows what I'm going to say. Self-care is not selfish. I cannot drive that point home better or more often or whatever I need to do. I'm going to do it because even like today, getting up a little bit earlier to make sure you've got your coffee, to make sure that you're just thinking about the day, having an intention for the day, and just appreciating every day that we have, seeing it as the true gift that it is. So ladies, have a little self-care today in honor of International Women's Day. Again, reach out to friends, really think about just moving forward the things you can do to empower yourself and other women. Victoria, any last thoughts before we wrap up? I'll be sure to check our comments and see if we have any other comments coming in.
So absolutely, that very good about having the little things that you can do for yourself throughout the day that make your day a little bit extra. Like maybe I don't get a Starbucks like this every single day, sugar, but you know what? I'm up, I'm adding today. I am like celebrating today with you, and thank you for having me on. And just some little treats throughout the day. It doesn't have to be food. It can be something like I'm gonna have a nice bath today. I'm gonna use a nice bath. Something of that.
Something like that.
Positive about that. Just making the day a little bit light, a little bit extra special to make your self, well-being and personal self-care. That's very important. If you let that lapse, a lot of problems and other areas. So it's very important to recognize that.
I couldn't agree more. Do something special for yourself today, ladies. You really, really do deserve that, okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to take one last look to see if we have any more comments coming in. Again, don't forget to like, share, and comment whether you see this in the replay or not. All right, ladies, in honor of International Women's Day, we are just so proud of us as a group, right? So reach out to your women friends today. Give them a text, a thank you. As Victoria pointed out, think about your self-care today. Think about romanticizing your life in some way. Remember, Victoria, when we did that as a challenge in our new year to a new you? So in other words, romanticizing your life, you're seeing that a lot now in the personal development space. And all that means is do something like Victoria's doing. Instead of maybe being at home with your coffee, just treat yourself a little bit today. Take what you ordinarily do and just up level it a little bit. So she treated herself to is it caramel macchiato? Is that what you got? Treat yourself today. Again, maybe the bubble bath. Maybe it's, if the weather's not too bad, it's been kind of rainy and gross today, but who doesn't like just dancing in the rain, right? Don't let the rain stop you, so you can even go outside if it's a rainy day. But do something for yourself today. We're just so happy you joined us. And again, if you couldn't join us live, definitely we hope that you enjoyed this in the recap or in the replay. And yeah, that's all I've got, ladies. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Victoria, unless you've got anything else to add, I'm going to play our outro music. And ladies, again, we just hope that you have the best day possible. And we just can't wait to see you the next time we have a live stream. So take care, everyone. Victoria, we will talk soon. And happy International Women's Day, ladies. Here's to you. Bye, everyone.